Hello, my wonderful subs. I'm having late afternoon tea with a scone and some jam and cream. And I've tried to make this more advertiser friendly, even though it was already pretty advertiser friendly. Listen from the beginning to the end of this podcast. You will see that I have a secret confession to share with you. Is it about Frankie Jr.? Is it about Bam Bam? Is it about Justin Lee? Wait and see. Listen to the end. From the beginning to the end, I mean. I get up in the morning. I tiptoe over to my desk where my laptop is. I get my stuff all set up so that I can record my podcast. Now, one day I'm going to do a podcast just doing impressions of people because I love doing that. I can do Donald Trump. I had dinner with Snoop Dogg. We had steaks, great steaks, fantastic steaks at Mar-a-Lago. I can do Save Robbie. Okay, Momo. Okay. I can do Miss Mensa. Christopher Wood's Wave. I'm not too bad, am I? But anyway, there are people that live on the periphery, on the outskirts, adjacent to What's Island on YouTube. They're kind of people that dabbled in What's Island, became associated with, somehow with What's Island, that are now living on the outskirts of What's Island and are not still on the island, but live very close and have affiliations with people on What's Island. Those people are Save Robbie, Lycan, Natasha Cooper. I might even put Miss Portland in that category. Now, Miss Portland is another subject, and I would have to deal with her on her own. I'm not a fan of Mrs. Portland, I can tell you that. But you have all these people kind of living, not on What's Island anymore, but living very close and very near and have affiliations with What's Island people that I hear about from time to time. Now, Lycan, I was just listening to, this is about Lycan. I was just listening to Dorothy from Surviving the Storms, I think. And, she's been doing a lot on these topics lately. And, she said that Lycan has lost his channels. Now, I don't know why that is. I personally have no beef with Lycan. I don't have, I've heard people talking about him in an unfavorable way, usually women. But I have had no personal beef with him. So when it comes to Lycan, I'm neutral on the topic. He's commented on my channel once. I'm sure he's seen my Natasha Cooper videos. I'm sure all the people on that side have seen my Natasha Cooper videos. And that's fine. But apparently, he lost his channels or whatever. And I don't know why that is. I heard once that he did a video on Kelly the Advocate, Miss Avocado. And, I've heard things around YouTube streets about Lycan that are not very favorable about, things that women have said about him. But I have no beef or, beef towards him whatsoever because I have not had any personal issue with him. So I'm very neutral with him. And then you've got Natasha Cooper, obviously, who, she's the comeback queen. Every time one goes down, she already has a new one opened. And it's very interesting. You have all these people on these streets who kind of, they're not towing the line. And I don't understand why it's so difficult. I know, even though I'm very outspoken and very opinionated, I know that there's things on this platform that I cannot say because my channel isn't monetized, because I want my content to be ad friendly without cutting off or without deviating too much from my personality and my boldness. I'm a very bold person. I'm a very strong person. I'm a very articulate person. I stand up for myself. I can speak up for myself. I'm not somebody that you can just, I think that because I can be very nice and I am a nice person, people take my kindness, have taken on this platform my kindness for weakness. But, they realize when they get to know me that, I can be really nice and really sweet. But once you get on the other side of me, it's a different person. But I understand that there's limitations, that I can't say everything that I want to say. I keep that in my house or in my room or whatever. I don't say everything that I want to say necessarily, or that I could say, because I'm trying to keep my channel ad friendly and that everyone can listen to. This is a channel about human behavior, and I want to keep it a channel that everyone can listen to. But there are some people on this platform, for some reason, they just don't know how to behave themselves. And I don't understand why, especially when it's your livelihood. I also want to reiterate that YouTube and social media is not a get rich quick scheme. It takes a while for anyone's channel to start journeying and generating income. There's lots of people on YouTube who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers who have second jobs. And this is their income. This is their extra income that they get. But it wouldn't be necessarily enough money to sustain them. And it depends on all kinds of things. It depends on how much you upload, how often you upload, what your content is like, what views you get, how you monetize. It depends on so many things when it comes to your earnings on YouTube. I think people think they get to their 1,000 subscribers, they get their 4,000 hours of watch time, and they're going to become rich overnight. It does not work that way. It takes a long time for you to generate earnings and income on YouTube. And that's why you have people doing super thanks, super chats, and all that kind of stuff, and having Cash App and PayPals, because every little helps, every little, on its own, unless you have hundreds of and thousands of subscribers and you are uploading regularly, you're not going to be, this is not a get rich quick scheme. It's a good way to earn money, and you have to be smart and shrewd about it, but it's not a get rich quick scheme. And I think that a lot of people believe that, once you get your subscribers and your watch time hours and, you're going to be rich overnight. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. So, I don't understand why people can't just simply, like I said, while it doesn't work that way, it's a very good way to earn extra income or be on the way to earning a lot of income, because the potential to earn on YouTube is huge. It's unlimited. It's a limitless tool or money-making way. If you have the subs and the views and the watch time. Watch time is probably the most important part of YouTube. A lot of people think that it's your subscriber count. It's actually, if you can get people, or you can get people to stick with your content and continue watching your content, that will earn you, because you can have 500,000 subscribers, but maybe only 10% of that 500,000 subscribers are watching your content on a regular basis or staying with your content. Not every subscriber that you have is fully engaging with your content. And I'll talk about that with you, at another time. But, like I said, YouTube is not a get rich quick scheme. However, if you stick with it, if you work hard with it, if you put out content that people are regularly engaging with, enough people, then your potential to earn is limitless. However, I don't understand, if this is your only livelihood, Lycan or whoever, not just talking about him, why people can't make sure that they toe the line and follow the rules. Because it's very, very simple. When I was going to school and I went to an all-girls private school, I was quite rebellious and I didn't toe the line and I didn't follow the rules. And, I had my fair share of trouble because of my personality. But, I am a responsible, mature human being now, and I'm a grown woman. And I know that there's certain things that I cannot do and I cannot say. And I don't understand why not everybody who uses YouTube can understand that there are certain guidelines that you have to follow in order to keep your platform. I don't understand why people can't just behave themselves. You also have to realize, and this is me being very, very objective and balanced in my opinion and understanding how human behavior, people work. You might have a topic that you use on YouTube that works for you for a while. You might get views from it for a while. And, people might be interested in that topic for a while, and then suddenly they might not be interested in it anymore. And I'll give you an example. When I used to do videos about Justin Lee, I would get views, decent views. Now, if I put out a video about Justin, not many people are interested anymore. I mean, many of my subs, they were interested or intrigued by him at first, but they're not anymore. They're already, the hype is over. So I'm going to be doing a video about Justin soon, but not so much Justin, but about people like him and how people like him take advantage of certain situations and, for their own personal gain. And I'm going to be talking about the channel called Live Free. And I'm not going to use the other word because I'm trying to make this ad friendly as possible. A woman who discusses personality traits. She's very good. She's done the What's case. She's excellent. And I'm going to be doing that. But, if I put up a video of Justin now, it's probably not going to get as many views as it would have done when he first started, because the hype is over, the novelty has worn off, and people are just not as interested in him now as they were back then. That doesn't mean to say there can't be a resurgence of interest in him, but it's just people are not as interested now as they were. I might put a video up on, I used to get thousands of views with Dave, when I did videos on Dave. And now, I don't get as many views as I used to. So things that once worked for you on YouTube can sometimes pass their sell-by date and go stale. So that's another thing. You have to keep adapting on YouTube as well, because your audience interests can change. There's lots of people that are still interested in the What's case. However, there are people who have moved on to other things and don't want to talk about that anymore. So, that's another thing that you have to be aware of, that, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. And, one topic alone, one topic might work for you for a time and then it's not going to work for you forever. And, you've got to keep adapting and changing and, trying to keep ahead and trying to stay above water and trying to be one step ahead all the time. And you also have to have the character for it, because some people are just not strong. I have a strong character, but some people don't have that kind of character. So, these are just some advices and tips that I want to give people while talking about this particular topic, because, I want to set the record straight this year about certain things, and I will do so. So this is a secret confession, and this is one of the ways that I'm marketing this podcast, because I want you to stay on as long as possible. You know what I do and how I started talking about Natasha Cooper again? I listened on people's live streams and chats, and I found out that Natasha Cooper was a hot topic on YouTube again. And I've spoken about her in the past. I made 2 videos about her in the past before I started to talk about her again. And, some of these channels are not big channels. Some of them are very small channels, smaller than mine. And, I started listening in and finding out that Natasha was a hot topic. And that's why I started doing videos on her, because I realized that she was a hot topic and she's quite a fascinating character. So that's one of my confessions. I do go to live streams. I do go to people's live streams and chats, and I listen in anonymously to find out what people are talking about. And sometimes I use that for my subjects, for the topics I choose to discuss on my podcast. So that is a secret confession. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and please subscribe.